Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Ish-Con exclusive Valaverse Action Force white version of the Praetorian Wraith. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Articulated Empire is your newest online retailer for shopping for your favorite figures and toy lines like Mythic Legions, Savage Crucible, and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, to name a few. They ship your orders quickly and securely. Visit articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. All right, here we have the packaging for the figure, and before we get started, I do want to make sure that you guys know that if you want to get any Valaverse figures, any Action Force figures, please head over to Articulated Empire and let Steve take care of you. He definitely has the newest wave in, and like they're shipping now, and they are great figures. We've taken a look at most of them on here, so head over there to pick up any figures that he happens to have in stock. Now, this guy is not going to be in stock because this was an exclusive at Ish-Con this year that just took place a couple weekends ago in Durham, North Carolina. I attended last year, couldn't go this year, but I do want to give a special shout out to my friend Terrence, who picked this up for me and got it to me as soon as he got back home. So thank you, T. I really appreciate it. So taking a closer look at the packaging here, I really like this package. I think it looks really nice. I love the Crimson Shadow Technologies logo right here, the Praetorian Wraith. And I do want to point out, in case you guys are not following Valaverse on Instagram or any of their socials, they have been receiving some feedback that fans would like for the cards to be more like Mythic Legions, so they're collector friendly. So they have a little plastic wraparound on the side so that you can take the figure out, mess around with it, play with it, pose it however you want, display it, and then if you ever wanted to, you could put it back in the package. And I think that is great because this figure looks really good on card. The white and red, this is a very nice card. Here on the back, we have some beautiful photography of the figure, a little bit of write-up here. You can cut that out and save it. 3 action points because this is an exclusive. And don't worry if you missed out, this guy will be up on Valaverse for sale. I thought it would have been up for sale for Memorial Day, but it wasn't. So maybe they're saving this guy for a special release soon. But Bobby did say that this figure was going to be up on the website for sale soon. So just stay tuned for that. So let's get him opened up and take a closer look at this guy. All right, there's a lot to go over, so we're just going to get into it. First off, we do have this really nice Action Force stand here. It looks like it's cast in this all red translucent plastic, and then there's like some painted parts on top. I don't know if those would scuff off over time. I have no idea. A little slit in the back for putting the card, if that's how you like to display your characters. He does come with 2 of these sort of like energy shields. One is larger than the other, and I'm trying to see here because there's tiny little holes in them. They have a little plug on the back, which I'm assuming plugs into the different ports on the figure itself. And we got 4 of these little ricochet accessories, and I'm assuming that these just like plug in, and they do. So there's tiny little holes. There's like one there, there's one there, one there. So you can put a couple of these. You're given 4 of these little ricochet effects. And you can plug them in. Let's see, there's one right there. Looks like one right there. They're kind of hard to see, but I do like that. That looks really neat. And you can, some of them are like different shapes, and you can kind of like plug them in and make it look like that the Praetorian Wraith is taking fire. Is that a hole? Can't really tell. They're so difficult to see. But yeah, I do like the way that they look, and the effect that they give off is really nice. So that's really cool. He does come with this very futuristic looking assault rifle. I'm assuming that you can plug in effects onto the top. There's no port for them to plug into, but you can put some of the effects on that guy. Let's see here. He does come with a sidearm installed in the drop leg holster on his right leg. One of the things I forgot to mention is that he does come with a little magazine that you can remove here, and he comes with, I'm assuming it goes in like that. We don't think it doesn't go in like that, does it? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, it is keyed. So yeah, that is the right way. He comes with this one in the package, and then on him, oh, there we go. I dropped one. On him is 3 more. And I like the little system that they have for holding these. And we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. But that looks really nice. I'm sure this gun probably has a real name, and I don't know what it is. He does come with 2 of these energy sword accessories. And let's see, it looks like we have a little plug-in like right here. They look to be exactly the same. And I'm assuming that you can plug these in on his arms or somewhere. Yes, he has little slits on the back of his arms where they plug in like that. And that's pretty cool. Of course, we will take a closer look at that here in just a minute. And then he comes with a whole bunch of hands. So let's see what we get here. We have one trigger finger hand right on a vertical hinge. And then we have, let's see, we have a right support hand on a horizontal hinge. We have a right gripping hand on a vertical hinge. And then we have a right punching hand on a horizontal hinge. And then for the left hand, we have a gripping hand on vertical. We have a support hand on horizontal. We have a punching fist on horizontal. And it looks like we have a trigger finger hand on a vertical hinge. So that is it for the accessories. All right, so here's the Wraith up on the rotating base, and I gotta tell you, I really dig the way this looks. Now, I don't have any of the previous Wraiths that have been released, and most recently in their Memorial Day sale, I did pick up an extra set of the Praetorian weapons pack. So, you know, I can sort of like mix and match those in with this guy, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. But you know, I didn't know it, like, are these people that are in suits of armor, or are they robots? So a little bit of reading on the back of the package said that they are androids. So they're advanced technology warriors, and they have the ability to like cloak themselves and make themselves invisible to most forms of detection. So it makes them pretty dangerous and a pretty formidable foe. Looks like there's a lot of sculpted detail on here, and that's a big departure from the human characters that I have from, you know, the few that I do have from Action Force. So let's get him up off of the base and take a closer look at some of those details. All right, punching in a little bit closer here on this guy, just taking a look at all of the sculpted detail that he has. It is everywhere. And I don't know about you guys who are fans of the line and have more of them than I do, or have the earlier Praetorian guards that have been released, but I really dig the robotic nature. I mean, just looking at this guy, you can tell that he does not have human proportions, even though he is a humanoid android. It just doesn't look like a human waist would fit in here with all of this armor and technology on him. There is some weird gapping in here in the hips that I'm noticing, and I thought at first it was because maybe he has drop down hips and I wasn't, you know, activating them, but they're on this thing where like when one goes up, the other goes down. So I don't think that they're like actual drop down hips, because you can't push them both up at the same time. I don't know if that's something that's consistent with Valaverse. I only have a few of the figures, but it looks like we have a very generous butterfly joint in here for reaching across, which is great. We don't see that a whole lot on like robotic or like heavily armored characters, so I'm really digging that. Looks like it's very generous on the back as well. Looks like we have a back plug for plugging things in back here, which is really cool. Nice little spot of black right there. I like how, you know, like detailed this guy is. I wonder, like, I've never used like a Gundam like panel liner, but I might pick one up and just go in here and drop some panel lines all over this guy, because I think it would work out pretty fantastically. He did come with his pistol already on him in the holster, in the package. These came already installed. I do like this system of sliding the clips or the magazines in and out. You do have to be careful because one of them could slide out without you knowing because they are kind of loose. I had that happen on me a minute ago. I picked him up and I was like, oh, I'm missing one. And it was like on my shorts. I didn't even realize I had dropped it into my lap. We are going to go over the articulation here. We do have a little logo right there. Lots of detail all over this guy. And then these feet, very robotic. They look like they have like toe articulation, but they of course do not. Let's go over that articulation. So, you know, out of the package, he can look up that far, which isn't the best. It looks like he's got both a neck ball peg here that's got some movement, and the whole neck itself moves inside of that chest, which is really cool. You've got some twist. He can look down about that far, which is really nice. Yeah, it's really tight joints. As far as like articulation goes, like he can really reach over that. Yep, see, just knocked one out just now. He can reach in front of his chest that far, which is great if you want to have him dual wielding like a samurai sword. He doesn't come with one, but that'd be kind of cool. The arms can go back that far, so that is really nice. Then you hit that full 360. Going up. Man, they are really tight. He can't hit that T-pose. That is about as high as he can go. And what is happening here? How does this work? Oh, so this is like a separate, like the arm rotates, you can see more of that joint. Let's see here. Something's hanging up on this arm. There we go. That's about as far up as I can get the arms. Not quite a T-pose, but also not that bad. You do have bicep swivel, of course. You have double jointed pinless elbows, but because of the way that this little panel right here on the bicep overlaps, you're not getting like full collapsing there. These little ports right here are going to be for your shield inserts if you want to pop those in. He does have a lot of range of motion up at the upper torso, and then he does have a ball joint down at the lower torso. But you know, it rocks back a fair amount, but not as forward as you would think it would. But you know, just with the torso alone, not engaging the hips, he can bend forward that far, but if you engage the hips, he can bend forward a little bit further. The legs can go all the way forward, can go out most of the way. This is really getting in the way here. That leg can go up much. All right, let's just take all the magazines out for the rest of the review before that becomes an issue. And you can bend back about that far. We do have very nice upper thigh cut. We have double jointed knees, pinless knees, but again, you've got a little extra outcropping of plastic like right here, and that does, like if that was not there, you could probably get a little bit further back. And then the feet are also really stiff. They're on a very generous hinge backwards, not so much going forward because of this, and then you do have that rocking motion right there. So you know, he's got a little bit of limitation on him, but for a fully robotic character, I got to tell you, he's not that bad. He moves pretty well. Let's see here. Popping in some of the shield attachments, they plug in very nice. I think that looks really cool, that they can plug in on the shoulder so he can have his hands free for weaponry. But I also do like the idea of using it as a shield that he could, wield like Captain America, and that does look pretty dope. I do like the fact that these are very clear. These did come in a chance of 1 in 100 to get a fully clear version. I would have loved to get one of those. That would have been pretty cool. But I really like this white version. And here's the really cool thing: when these go up for sale, like if you don't have Valaverse, or if you don't collect Action Force and you don't want to put them in with that, you can easily put these in with your G.I. Joe Classified series, your Marvel Legends. You can have them fighting against any kind of like 6th scale figures in your collection, and they could just be like a nameless robot sentry. Again, you have these little slits on the bottom of the wrist or the back of the arm. Yeah, the lower arm, and so you can definitely get those plugged on, and those look great. Those are really cool. Let's see how the side arm drops into the drop leg holster. Goes in just like that, and then yeah, there you have it. It looks really good. And we just have like the fists on him right now. Yeah, there you have it. Now let's see how this guy compares to another Valaverse, just standing it straight up and down. We're going to go with the last exclusive that I got, that one of my friends picked up for me at, where was this? ZoloCon, and that is the Steel Brigade with the chrome head. And you can see he stands a little bit taller. Looks like he's a little bit taller than that Steel Brigade figure, and still looks just as nice. And if you had some other of the heads or the heads packs, which, you know what, I do, let me grab those. I just so happen to have a couple of white helmets that might look nice for this guy. We have, it's not really a bright white, it's kind of like an off-white, a little bit of blue tint to it, but we do have this extra little Steel Brigade head, which doesn't look too bad. And if you wanted to try to say that this was a human in some sort of suit, I do have this white head. Not the same, you know, it doesn't give off the same appearance, doesn't really look like a human in that suit. But yeah, there is just a couple of little head swap options for you, since they were white and I did have them. But let's get this guy under some lighting and into some backgrounds, and let's see how he poses up. Like I said, I probably have like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of these guys that I have purchased on my own. Of course, Steve over at Articulated Empire has put me onto them. He's sent me so many to review, and they are a lot nicer than I fully expected them to be. I am constantly sort of impressed with Bobby Vala and his company. I think he's his figures are getting better. I guess maybe I'm just growing a little more fond of the characters that he is producing, because I think, you know, now he's sort of like getting away from everybody looking like a black market contractor. There's a little bit of character development here going into the line, and I've always heard really good things about the Praetorian. My friends who have a few of them have always loved them and said, man, they're really cool, they're really dope, you got to get your hands on one. And I just never really cared to until I saw this white one, and then I saw the possibility of getting a clear one, and I thought, well, you know, here we go, like I'm going to definitely go after it. This figure's got a lot going for it. It's very highly detailed. The sculpting is fantastic. I do think this is the first time that I've ever had something that I'm like, I want to get a Gundam panel marker and like a panel liner and like go to town on it, and I think I will definitely do that. And if and when I do that, I'll do a little update video just to show you how it came out. But yeah, I do love the white. It's very reminiscent of, you know, a stormtrooper, so I'm digging it. I like the accessories that he comes with. He comes with a lot, and I do believe this figure, unless I'm incorrect, this figure is either $35 or $40 at the show. And like I said, it is going to be showing up on Valaverse.com relatively soon. Bobby said it would go up soon after Ish-Con, and so I'm glad he made it available to them. I'm glad I was fortunate enough to have friends that were going who could pick me up one. Again, thank you, T. I really appreciate it, and I'm really digging this. I see why fans, people out there of Action Force are fans of the Praetorian, because I think they are really cool. Will I go back and pick up some other ones? Probably not. Would I pick up a second one of these? Probably not. Like, if I could find a good deal on the clear one that's not, you know, crazy ridiculous. I haven't even looked to see what they are. But yeah, I would love to have a clear one one day. I hope he makes a clear one available to a wider audience. That would be pretty fantastic. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Did you pick this guy up? Are you looking forward to picking one up? What are your thoughts on it? Do you have the other ones? Do you need this one? Just let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out on Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.